Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 11th of December 2018. So, yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're gonna have a look at the markets, a few charts, see how they're performing right now. But as always, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation. It should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay guys, so let's not waste any more of our time and let's jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on here is the Dow. Now looking at this Dow Jones here, yesterday was a bit of a crazy trading day here. As you can see, the index managed to pierce through some of these key support areas, initially piercing through this 24,275, then taking out the 24,125, and then eventually breaking this key psychological 24,000 level, and of course dropping below that and where it reached the area around the 23,885, and then we saw the bulls kind of quickly kicking in here and pushing this index back up here. So in a way, certainly looking at the cash indices today, and especially cash index for the Dow, we can see that it's already trading around the 24,700 level. So basically above this area of resistance. Certainly what we're gonna keep an eye on here is the 24,800 level, see how that performs today. We might see maybe a bit of a correction here back to the downside. We could in a way start trading around this area here, above the yesterday's close, and of course below the 24,800. Certainly, but like I said, that the last mentioned level is going to be the one that we're going to be keeping a close eye on. And if we're going to jump into a 4-hour chart on this one, basically this is what we're going to keep an eye on. Is of course, if the 24,800 level gets broken, certainly brace yourselves for a bit of a more upside here. Now we can actually get rid of this level here. Now what we're going to be watching here is of course the psychological 25,000 itself, but slightly above that we do have the 25,100 area, which was marked here by the high of the 7th of December. Now this could be a potential good area of resistance initially, of course, but if that gets taken out, certainly you probably now understand that the further upside moves are possible. But the only thing is for you guys to kind of keep in mind is this little short-term downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 3rd of October. Now this is where the upside could get limited, certainly, and until of course this is where the price could stall for a little bit, for a while, until kind of the bulls and the bears figure out who's going to take control from here. The main thing remains here is that in overall the index, and together with the other US indices, they kind of continue to trade around their opening price, the year's opening price, which was around the 24,000. Let me just kind of show you where that was. So it was around the 24,700 approximately there, something like that, guys. So basically this is where it could be interesting to see where exactly this index is going to close for the year, but probably might continue just for the remaining days of December just to trade around that opening price, and it was approximately around the 24,770 area, something like that. So yep, this is, like I said, this is where it could continue trading around for the rest of the December, and that will be really interesting to see where exactly will it stay. For now, because looking at this daily chart, we can see that the index kind of remains below this 200 EMA. So in a way, this kind of puts a bit of a negative spin on the overall outlook. But if, like I said, if this index manages to get back above the 25,100 level, this would of course automatically place it above this 200 EMA, and this is where we could then target this little short-term downside resistance line. But for now, be very careful with this one. It's a bit of a choppy one, as you can see, and it's a bit of an annoying one, to be honest. And like I said, looking at this, especially looking at yesterday's candle, yesterday's daily candle, where it seemed that it probably wants to continue pushing lower, but then you can see that the bulls kind of quickly kicked in and drove this index back up here. So that's why I'm saying, so be very cautious, guys. I mean, there are some good levels on the upside. At the same time, we could see maybe a retracement back down here towards these lows here, these key support areas, like for example the 24,275, or even actually lower than going back towards the 24,000 level itself. So yep, for now it could be a bit of a choppy session. Keep on monitoring the year's opening price, which was around the 24,770 level. Yep, keep your eyes on that one. Let's see how that performs. But yep, like I said, this will be interesting to continue observing till the end of the year. Jumping into silver now. Silver is a very interesting one today, and let me just jump into a 4-hour chart. So now you can see it continues to trade above this little short-term upside support line taken from the lows of the 30th of November. And today we had a nice push here to the upside, managed to break this key area of resistance. So the area of resistance was near the 14.65. Now it's getting back towards it. You can see that the commodity managed to test the R2 here, which was near the 14.725 level. Now this is where it's interesting, because to be honest, silver is the one that is popping today, and unlike gold, which is kind of trading in a more modest, with more modest trading activity that we're seeing on gold today, but silver on the other hand is like popping to the upside. But now you can see that the bears are trying to take control here and trying to push it back below this little, in a way, a tentative downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 7th of November. Nevertheless, we're going to keep a close eye on it, but if this is going to stay above it, and if this is going to close the daily candle today above this in a way tentative downside resistance line, then well, I mean, there could be some more upside going on further into this week, especially if we're going to break the 14.725 level. A nice good break above, a nice good pop above this level could open the path towards the 14.90 or even the psychological 15 level. But of course the psychological 15 is a bit further away, let's put it that way. So I doubt that it could reach that level this week, but nevertheless, if we get a nice pop here above the 14.725, which was today's high for now, then yep, we could then initially target the 14.90 area. So, and the 14.90 acts as a very good area of resistance here way back in November and October. So yep, for now, guys, be very cautious. At the moment, you can see that silver is trying, well, the silver bears are trying to push it back down, but of course, let's see how that develops further on. For us to kind of take the more let's say start examining the much lower levels, we would need to see a nice good break here below this short-term upside support line, and of course a nice good close below the 14.55 level, and only then we're gonna aim for much lower levels like the 14.42, or even actually going much lower here towards these lows of the 6th of December, which were approximately around the 14.32 zone. So quite an interesting, good potential area of support, but again, for us to kind of consider that level, we would need to see a nice good drop here below this 14.55 level, and you can see as well that this is today's pivot there. So yep, guys, for now, be very careful. At the moment, this is looking more bullish than bearish, but anything can happen. Any week could get a surprise here. Jumping into Aussie dollar now. Aussie dollar is moving higher today. Managed to push away nicely higher from this pivot point, and now it's kind of holding its course towards the 0.7240 level, which was marked here by the highs of the 7th of December and also the 6th of December. So this in a way going to become our important key area of resistance, which if broken could open the path towards much higher levels like the 0.7277 or even the 0.73 level itself, which was marked here by the high of the 5th of December. So in a way, keep your eyes on this little potential area of resistance, but again, like I said, if it breaks, it could be that gateway towards higher levels. On the downside, well, for us, to be honest, with the downside, we will probably take a more cautious approach here and wait until this, let's say, drops below the 0.7177 area, which was marked here by the lows of yesterday and the 9th of December. So yep, we'll probably like I said, wait for that. If we see this drop here, the next potential area of support could be the 0.7160. Of course, it's not far, only 17 pips away from this breaking point, but nevertheless could be a good potential area of support where the rate could stall for a little bit until kind of the bulls and the bears decide where, who's going to take control from here. Just kind of pointed out that this level here, the 0.7160, kind of acted as a very nice area of support here back on the 12th of November, and also acted as a very good area of resistance here on the on the 17th of October. So you can see the importance of this level, and that's why, like I said, the rate could initially stall here if it gets back here, if it gets back below the 0.7177 level first, of course, and then yeah, we could see the rate stalling around this area, just because, like I said, it's quite an important area for this pair. But if this gets broken, well, guess what? I mean, this could be opening the path towards much lower levels, but again, we'll get to that point if we get a nice good break here below this key 0.7160 level. Jumping into one more interesting pair, which we probably don't look at very often unless you trade it specifically, then that's the EURNZD. So the euro against the New Zealand dollar. Now, initially today we had a nice move here higher, managed to test this area near the 1.6565. You can see that the 4-hour candle never managed to close above it. So, and now we're seeing this nice push lower here. We managed to break the S1 here, which is near the 164.65, and now it's currently aiming for the S2, which is around the 164.12 area, approximately there. So for now, like I said, this is the route that the pair is holding, and we could, like I said, we could see a possible test of this area here, the 164.12 approximately there. Further declines, of course, could lead towards a retest of these lows of the December lows, or should I say maybe so far the December lows, the one that we had around the 4th of December, and that was approximately around the 163.25 area. So keep your eyes on down. If this gets broken now, of course, the near term this doesn't look very positive in that case for the EURNZD. So further declines could be possible. This is where we could then target the 162.35, which was going back into history here. It's quite going back quite far into history, let's put it that way, and that was the low that we saw around September time 2017. So some good potential areas of support here, but first let's not get ahead of ourselves too much, and let's see what it wants to do with this S2 first, if it wants to break it or not. If it breaks it, then yep, we could have a retest of the lows of the 4th of December near the 163.25. But if this suddenly reverses back up here, we're still going to continue monitoring the 165.65. A nice good pop above this could open the path towards the 166.65, so which was marked here by the highs of the 9th of December. So keep your eyes on that one. For now, this is looking more bearish than bullish. And the USD Turkish Lira. Now this one is a very interesting one. And for this one, probably I need to look into the daily chart. Now, As you can see here, finally on the 3rd of December, the pair managed to break this downside resistance line that has been dragging here since the end of August, and now it's managed to break it to the upside, managed to push towards the let me just zoom in here a little bit, managed to push towards the 5.4540 area, and so now this is going to be our resistance level that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, because a nice good pop above this could open the path towards, initially of course, towards the 5.5150, but because it's so close to it, to be honest, this could be just a pit stop for this pair, and a break above that could lead USD Turkish lira towards the 5.7730 area, which was marked here by the highs of the 24th of October. So for now, looking at this formation where we're seeing here, it's looking more bullish than bearish, but let's say if this suddenly reverses back down and drops below the 5.2620 area, which was marked here by the lows of the 7th of December, this is where we're going to target the lows, the November lows, which were approximately around the 5.1380 level, which also coincides here with this 200 EMA on the shown as the black line. But again, like I said, for now, judging from this picture, it seems more bullish than bearish, and especially if we're going to get a nice pop here above the 5.4540, yep, then we're going to start aiming for much higher levels. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening. And if you want to join me tomorrow morning in my Traders Espresso, and that's 7 o'clock GMT time, but for now guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, evening for those who are just starting the day. Yep, have a fantastic trading day. For those who are finished for today, have a fantastic evening. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.